Right now we have the number 2 car coming to the pit lane, and that's the other Chevrolet powered car. Guys, we were talking earlier this week, will the Chevrolet powered cars make it through this race with all the horsepower they've developed here in the last little while? Right now, Thomas Scheckter knows that his teammate's already in pit lane.
Schecter's in the pits, but his teammate, Eng is in the pits. His teammate, Thomas Scheckter, is out in front, and he has this is the first time he's led since Kentucky of last season.
Weldon's pit is one of the first pits down by turn 1. And then you have Herta's back, and we have a yellow.
Coming down the front straightaway, it is Thomas Enge, and that is the number 2 Rockstar car. Dario Franchitti's already in the pit, so he's got to come through because the pits are closed.
I think I can tell you what happened with Thomas Enge's car there. It's been off song, and when we say that for the last couple of laps, the car has actually not sounded well, so we think that he might have had just a motor problem. There he is up on the high side. Well, I take that back, because even though his car's been off song, he's trying to make way for the guys to get underneath him. He got himself up in the gray area on that dirty stuff, put himself into the wall.
I know what happened. Dottie was coming into the pits, and Thomas was behind him. And, you know, he didn't have enough room and had to run wide, and that was that.
That is Thomas Enge, the Panther Racing ride, the number 2, originally from the Czech Republic, now living in Monaco. Here's how it happened.
See them on the right-hand side there. There's already been some contact because there's a lot of parts being broken there. The front wing and nose cone is actually stuck in between the wing and the left rear tire of Sam Hornish's car. There's no way that one's getting separated.
I think this incident started way early when with Koski Matsuda slowing down there all of a sudden on the right.
As they extract those 2 vehicles from one another, the Rockstar of Thomas Enge on the right and the Team Penske ride of Sam Hornish Jr. This was the incident with just 2 drivers remaining. Thomas Enge, the number 2 Rockstar car, takes it into the wall. Safer barrier does its job. And Scott, we're now hearing that he already had a broken rib on the right side.
Some injury he had earlier in the week somewhere in Japan. We're not sure where, but this accident here has knocked him out of the race. The safer barrier, the phase 2 of the safer barrier, probably caused less injury to the car in him if it had been just the standard wall we had there last year.
So Thomas Enge will not be racing. That is the word. He will not be racing here in Twin Ring Motegi. Middle of your screen, here's where it looks like people are trying to warm tires or something.
Yeah, and that would be Danica that actually was trying to get on the throttle on the right-hand side of the top, it looks like, and get the car down on the lower side when she started to come across the track. And here we are with Danica. Listen here as she gets on the power. Yep, that's cold tires usually on there after a situation like that. We're watching right now Thomas Enge off the pace going through the front section. We'll have to see what's going on with that.
Thomas, what happened? No power. No power.
So no power, so something either in the engine or the drive line. We'll have to find out here shortly. Sounds like an engine situation as the yellow will come out for this, Todd.
So Thomas Enge, who was on the front, the young man from the Czech Republic, getting really his first full run here, and initially a little nervous about running in the packs and the high banks, but after practice last night, he said, I feel very good.
And he's done a great job here this weekend, you know, because it's very much different than what's going on here throughout the whole month, actually, at Indianapolis at this particular track. Here we go right now. Herta in the car in the front. Look at all this. Everybody avoiding right now. Because once you lose power, you have nothing you can do. You can't get off that banking onto the flat apron, and that whole traffic behind him turned around just to make sure that they missed him.
Oh, and Thomas Enge, the Rockstar Chevrolet, has gone into the wall. And Enge from the Czech Republic, this is not a good situation.
We'll wait to see if he's actually moving inside the cockpit. He is. There's a steering wheel is coming off, which tells you that he's alert. He is okay.
This is Thomas Enge, turn 2. And we cut to that just late, Scott, but it looked like just what Brian Barnhart, the president of the IRL, said in the driver's meeting. If you make contact with this wall, it is going to be a pancake job. And you look at his car, and that's exactly what you're looking at.
Now, you look up on the top side, you can actually see the concrete wall. There's some styrofoam action between that and the steel barrier that you see. It's called the safer barrier, and that's actually what he hit. And they used to call it the soft wall, Todd. I said this before, and it really is not soft. They call it the safer barrier, something that Tony George and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway have actually spent millions of dollars actually trying to bring this program forward to all the racetracks in North America. And actually, even the NASCAR teams, or NASCAR tracks rather, are starting to put these type of systems on their track.
Well, this is the kind of situation we don't like to see. We did see him take off the steering wheel, Scott, but he is yet to be extracted from the car. The Rockstar Chevrolet Thomas Inge, a rookie with so much talent upside, and there you go. That's what you like to see.
Now remember, he had injured himself in Japan earlier in the year. Had some rib damage, actually got through that, and was a little bit hurtful in Indianapolis, but got through that. And there's the team, and this is the key thing. These guys are becoming your family when you drive race cars. And they want to see what's happening to their driver.
They are going to take all the time they need. Let's take a replay of this.
Now here we go. The car's just going past us right now, and the sparks are actually on the ground. Todd, something must have broken on that car to actually lay the car down on the racetrack. Once you've done that, you are passenger. As you see, you can see the IRL official on the outside of the turn, knowing what's about ready to happen. The car is coming towards the wall at 200 miles an hour. The IRL official actually very smartly runs.
Thomas Inge, the rookie from the Czech Republic, had a moment going into turn number 2, Scott, and it was not a good one, but a great save on his part.
Actually, as you watch the cars go in, watch Thomas's car. It's right in the middle of your screen. You're going to see a spark coming out on the right rear corner. It's caused from the suspension piece breaking. Remember, that's at 215 miles an hour, Todd, and he turns around and collects it. Now, in this area here, the suspension piece we're talking about is this A-arm right there. And you can actually see exactly where the pipe is broken, and that should be connected from exactly where you see it right now through there all the way over to the suspension, gets connected onto the area of the transmission, and you can actually see the piece where it's been broken. There's 2 pieces here, one on the top and one on the bottom. They're supposed to be connected.
Not a good scene for Thomas Inge, the rookie, who's running quite well, but as you pointed out, Scott, a great save.
And we got a crash up here. It is Tomas Inge and Helio Castroneves coming down into that bus stop area.
Very quickly, we've got a replay on the incident involving the Inge. Wow, and that was a big hit as the 3-car of Helio Castroneves looked to hook wheels with the 2-car of Tomas Inge, and Helio nearly nosed into the Armco at a 90-degree angle. I'm not sure he could have hit it any harder than he did. That was a very violent crash.
That was
as they were making their way down the back straight into the bus stop.
That was a heck of a hit. Debris frying those brave corner workers that are out all over this racetrack on the outside with the yellow flags. We have the section, area yellows, and they nearly they had to dodge a lot of the debris.
As you watch the scramble off of pit road, and we have one car stalled at the end of pit road. That is Buddy Lazier in the 95 car. In the Rockstar machine, the car is sideways on pit road, and they go out and rush to his aid. But I'll finish telling you that Sam Hornish a moment ago, one turn of wing out. We saw that big bobble with Hornish in the middle of the corner. They hope they've rectified that. No change whatsoever on Helio Castroneves, as now they try to get the 2-car restarted for Buddy Lazier.
Well, as they attend to the Rockstar car, I will just go back in time. One of Scott Goodyear's keys was pit lanes. That was your 3rd key, consistency, traffic, and pit lanes. And we saw it right there. Almost a disaster for Dan Weldon.
Well, we have to find out exactly what happened with him, but as I mentioned before, very bumpy. There's some damage there with the car. Looks like maybe a collision with another car. We'll have to find out what car he collided with. It is a very wide pit lane, Todd. The lanes are very wide, but the pit boxes are very short, so you have to try and angle your car out as quickly as possible. The very top side there, you see Franchitti is all the way over to the fast lane. No, let's take that back. It's number 20, Carpenter, who's actually coming out on your right-hand lane here. Let's watch on the right-hand side. Some contact just with the left front suspension of the 2 Rockstar car of Buddy Lazier, and that's ended his day.
Unfortunately, the debris field is large at the Michigan International Speedway, as we have had an incident into turn number 2, as you are on board with Jacques Lazier. Just to his left is number 24. That is Roger Yasukawa. You saw Jacques giving the okay. You know, Scotty, as they were coming across the finish line last time, we both said this is not good. It was too close. And I don't know if that other car up on the hill is Townsend Bell, but I have a pretty good idea that it is.
You know, just a lot of aggression starts to come out at the last part of that race. You can see Jacques Lazier right now starting to remove that headrest. Wants to get out of the race car. The 55 of Kotsky Masura is up there on the wall. We'll have to go back and see if we can see exactly what ended up happening. But it started back in turns 1 and 2.
And there it is, Townsend Bell.
Townsend Bell, the 2 car. That's all the water that's on the ground from the cooling system. He's getting out somewhat a little bit slow. You know, they do have the safer barrier here, Todd, that steel and foam energy reducing system that's actually on this race course. Wow. But still, hitting these things at over 200 miles an hour is huge.
Here it is. You saw it in side by side. Townsend Bell with a wiggle.
Yep.
Scott Sharp gets around. And that's the big impact. Jacques Lazier had nowhere to go. Neither did Roger Yasukawa, for that sake.
You know something, you remember, you travel the length of a football field in less than a second going the speed that these guys go. Already seeing the smoke. Car's starting to go around, and it looks like he probably got hit from behind from the 24 from Roger Yasukawa, possibly. We'll have to go back and see if we can see that. But the right front tire of Jacques Lazier's car is actually starting to bounce off the front hood of his car as he goes through.